Good evening everybody, hope you're doing well. I'm back with the lovely guys down at Bulldog Triumph in Wokingham. This is the brand new for 2024 Tiger 900 Rally Pro. I say it's brand new, it's basically not, but it's modified for this year. So it is still very much the Tiger 900 Rally Pro that you all know very, very well. It's still a stunning, stunning looking bike. I think it looks lovely. It's probably one of the better looking bikes out there. Obviously the Rally being the off-roady model, you get the GT/GT Pro model. That's the more road-going version. So it has electronic suspension, it has a 17-inch rear and a 19-inch front. This being the off-road model has manual suspension, 21-inch front. Obviously they're laced as well rather than cast wheels. And obviously you get slightly more ground clearance with this model, blah 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 blah. Now I've done a review on one of these before. It was George's bike that I did a review on. Let's be honest, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? This is now slightly updated for 2024. Now when I say slightly updated, literally the same engine, same running gear, same tyres, same wheels, same everything for the most part. That, I believe, I don't know whether it's literally the same one, but that is the screen off of the Tiger 1200, so the updated TFT. I think it's still the same size, but it now has all the really funky sort of sexy animations. Shift indicators, riding aids, TPMS, all that sort of shebang. You can connect your phone to it, you can connect your GoPro to it, you can connect your intercom to it. You've got navigation, which I assume the nav is through the app. Yeah, the nav will be turn by turn through the app. It's got all the usual things like the rider modes. You've got Sport, Off-Road, Off-Road Pro, Rider, Rain, Road. Because it's the Rally Pro, it's got everything on it. So it's got cruise control, it's got heated grips, it's got heated seat, it's got fog lights. It's just loaded with tech. Obviously LED lights all round as per usual, hand guards to the lot. The last model of Tiger 900 was 94 horsepower. They've upped it this year to 109? 104 or 109 or something like that. So I want to see if the power makes a difference, because the last one wasn't slow by any means. Some people are saying it's the same bike, and some people are saying that it's actually a bit smoother, a little bit more engaging. I am 5'9", 31, 32 inch inside leg / inseam, depending where you are in the world. I can get both feet down. They're not flat, but they are definitely down both sides, which is great. The other thing I would be interested to know, actually, George had a Tiger. His was a 2021 model, I think. We had to pump up the front suspension so much just to stop it like diving. Like it used to nosedive all the time. So I will be interested to see if they've done anything about that. Since Triumph have started putting in the offset firing order, it's made them sound so much better. The screen, yeah. I could never work out how to do the screen on the last one. I kind of knew how it was meant to work, but I never was able to do it without feeling like I was going to break it. I think the thing I want to know, is it worth upgrading from your 2021 model to a 2024 model? I have a funny suspicion I'm going to say probably not, unless you're coming up to the end of your PCP deal, but we will see. I know it's not particularly changed much, but when I rode George's, it felt like I was sitting very much on top of the bike. I don't know whether he had a high seat, but maybe that was a factor to it, I guess. But I definitely feel like I'm sitting more in this one. I don't know how many miles this has got, but it seems to be kicking off at me for being above 5,000 RPM. Let's have a look. Oh, no, that's the indicator. Glad I still do that then. I don't know how many. How do you tell how many miles you have on this thing? 469 miles. So this has still not had its first service either. So I will be quite gentle on it. That definitely felt like it sort of picked up a bit quicker. This screen is, I'm getting buffeted right on the top of the helmet, and that's in the high position. I wonder what it's like down low. It's not changed. screen doesn't do anything. That definitely feels like it's picking up quicker than the old model. That's quite a nice power delivery as well. It's incredibly smooth. Don't worry, this isn't going to be another Tiger 1200 video where all I say is smooth. Yeah, that is buttery. I'm getting buffeting off the top of my helmet. This one. I used to do it with the old model as well. I always hit the indicator, the menu button instead of the indicator, because they're there and there. I don't think the price has gone up. Or if it has, it's by like 500 quid, which everything's done. They've done some nice little upgrades without hiking the price way too much. The one thing I've always felt with the Tiger 900s, which could well be something to do with the fact that I'm quite a short ass, is that I feel like I'm quite far back on them. So I feel like I'm sitting more over the rear wheel than I am over the front wheel. They've turned the speed camera in. Oh, I got a lot of time for that. This just feels like it's been awoken. The difference between you in the morning at like 8 AM and the difference with you at 9 AM when you've had a coffee. That's sort of what this feels like. It feels like it's a bit more ready to go. Every time I ride a bike without some form of dive control, I notice it. This is one of those bikes that I've always thought is very divey. It doesn't feel like it's as divey, but it's there's definitely a lot of suspension movement below you. Considering this has got a 21-inch front wheel as well, it's not struggling to turn at all. It's really happy to just pull into a corner and sit in a corner. I know where the wheels are. I think that's the big thing that I don't like on some bikes. I mean, it was one of the things I loved about the 1300 GS versus the 1250 is that I could feel the front end, which I can on this. It feels so like I know exactly where that front end is. I can feel where the suspension is in the travel. It's definitely got more go. I mean, I know I'm in sport mode as well, so that throttle will definitely feel a little bit more punchy. But every time I've ridden one of these, it's been in sport mode. Let me just gently overtake this car. No, let's not, because there's cars coming, Sam. And that quick shifter is spot on. 40 odd miles an hour, just downshift, downshift, upshift, 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 downshift. Just doesn't matter. It's so good. That's a really nice gearbox. Do you know what? The one thing I do quite like is that the indicators at the front now stay on. They're like a DRL. African Twins have had, and a lot of Hondas do have for a while, and I think it just looks quite cool. You still have to definitely use the gears. You can't just, I don't know, with a bigger bore bike with 150 odd horsepower, you don't need to change down a gear. This has plenty of grunt to overtake, but you will have to change up to 5th in the overtake, depending how fast you're going, obviously. Sorry, I'm just going to enjoy this bit of road. I've got the same amount of confidence in this bike as I would have if I just owned it for 10 years. There's no unpredictability, there's no uncertainty on what it's going to do. You know exactly where the power's going to be. But the difference is now it's just got that little bit more poke. It's quite nice to have this new screen as well. The old layout for me looked a little bit like the previous generation Tiger, like the Tiger 800. This feels a bit more up to date. The animations are still quite slow. Like if I do this, it's way better than it was when it first came out on the Tiger 12. Not necessarily laggy, but it feels laggy. I press the button and then it reacts. Press the button, then it reacts. Just absolutely buckets of grunt to overtake. Even though it's been the same for the last couple of years, I really like that front DRL. Like it looks like an angry eyebrow. Should we try and put it in off-road pro mode? So to be fair, that's not as bad as George's. George's used to have 2 traction control symbols and a warning triangle. The only issue is now I have to stop to put all of that back on. If you bought one of these, especially with that little bit more grunt, slightly nicer screen, the nice new paint schemes and all that sort of stuff, you're not going to be disappointed in any way, shape or form. It's definitely not a knob bike in any way. It's not a childish bike, which is what you get with KTMs. It's what you get with some Yamahas as well, like an MT10 or whatever. They're quite childish bikes, whereas this isn't. This is very, it's very quick, very capable, but quite sensible. It's Triumph. It's sophisticated about the way it does it. Like, as you can probably tell, it's not giggle factor funny. Having said that, that's not really changed my opinion of the bike. Like, it's still a phenomenal bit of kit. I think it looks really nice. It's probably the best looking, or one of the best looking adventure bikes out there. It now has a bit more pep to it, a little bit more punch to the power. Punch to the power. A lot of nice little updates, basically. Oh no, and tunnel. If you didn't like the GT model, try the rally model. Oh, someone's bun into herb. Cool, that was strong. I don't personally particularly like the GT model, but trying the rally model fits me way better. My dad was the same. He didn't really like the GT model until he tried the Rally Pro, and then he was like, actually, this is a good bit of kit. This is more my style. So make sure you try both before you buy one. Don't just buy the Rally because it looks off-roady. Don't just buy the GT model because you think you're only going to do it on road. You can literally just use this on the road as well. It doesn't matter. Would I upgrade if I already had a Rally Pro? No. Like, it's nice to have the colours, and it's nice to have the slight upgrade and the TFT and all that sort of stuff. You don't need to upgrade. If I was coming up for renewal on my PCP plan, I would upgrade to this rather than getting a cheap 2023 model, which is the previous gen. You've got the nicer TFT, you've got a bit more of that. It's nice to have a bit of a change when you're changing model. Oh, I giggled! I giggled! Wow, I giggled. Just in general, a very, very good bike. And something that, like, if you're looking for that almost perfect mid-weight adventure bike, this is probably one to consider, because it's just really good. And it sounds nice as well. Let's try another UE, feet up U-turn. Do the MIG dismount. Nice black line here. They've got some reddy, orangey accents. They've got this. Even this looks nice. It sounds so good. That's a stock exhaust, and it sounds so good. And then, yeah, that's what I mean with the indicator staying on. Genuinely, I know my bike is just behind it there, and I think that thing looks incredible, especially with the decal kit. That is probably the best looking adventure bike. Visit these guys, Bulldog Triumph. They're genuinely lovely. I speak to Alex, who's one of the service guys, because he used to work at Bike Stop, but all of them are really, really nice down here. Goodbye. Right, I'm going to get all of my kit back on. I need to go home. Oh, I left that open. Nice one, Sam, you bellend. I'm going to go and give Alex the keys back, get myself home, because I think Joe's going to come round and we're going to have a whiskey night. Isn't that nice? We can have a whiskey night together. So thank you very, very much for joining me, and let me know in the comments, would you buy one? What do you think? Do you think it's the best looking adventure bike? And I'll see you in next week's video. Goodbye.